All right, hey, this is another segment that we're going to hit here because he's more passionate about it. It's time for Gerald to take the reins. He knows things.
Is that the best we can do, really?
Yeah, it is. Yes, we're going to keep that stinger. So, Gerald, you want to educate our audience.
I will. Right. So this Black Lives Matter stuff.
And by the way, you guys can all comment. And we'll take your chats on how well you think Gerald's doing with this.
Go ahead. You're just going to drink a 40 while I talk about it?
Is our sponsor brought to you by a bum that bought you a drink in the 90s?
Yes.
Can you at least get a brown paper
newest
bag
sponsor.
for it?
Bum piss.
Thank you. Well, recently there was some tax filings that revealed some really interesting ways to spend money for the charity that was set up for Black Lives Matter. And they had $90 million in donations received in 2020 alone. And I think it'll be interesting for people to see how they spend it. So we had
$90 million.
$90 million.
For BLM?
Some people say that's a lot of money. So 1.8
I believe they say that's a lot of cheddar.
You know, that's a fair point. Yep. 1.8 million was sent to companies owned by the founder's relatives. So here's and I'm going to say paid. You understand what I mean by paid, right? Basically, they were given money. Patrice Cullors' brother Paul was paid $840,000 for security services. $840,000.
Gotta keep my ass safe,
right? Damon
don't want to poop.
Patrice's baby daddy was paid $970,000, get this, to help produce live events and creative services, because that's detailed enough for us to understand that this is totally legitimate.
I am a creative serving person.
By the way, I need you to understand something too. Did you hear those dollar amounts that I just gave out?
Yes.
And I told you that these donations were in 2020. This is when they got the money. So this is 2022, the beginning. This is over a very short period of time that they were paid this much money. I don't think that you could pay the highest charging company that promotes events that much money in that short of a period of time.
Well, he made banners.
You could if it was unmarked 20s.
I don't think that that's true too.
No, this is important for people to know. It's entirely been a scam from the beginning.
It is absolutely insane. We talked about the homes that she purchased in another story we had done quite a while back, but now we're looking at the money she just basically gave away to relatives.
We just put her in a home?
You'd be like, yeah, creative services. What did you do?
I know one that would be really good for her.
I came up with like paintings of BLM. Oh, good. This is fun. You and Hunter Biden can go on a like painting tour, I guess.
Yeah.
All right. So another asset that they have is actually stock. So they had $42 million in other assets, $6 million in a compound invested for Studio City. It's a house basically that she lives in, saying, no. It's going to be for black artists and people to come in.
Yes.
And then $32 million in stocks. Now, here's why they have.
That's how I produce my mixtapes.
They have the stocks to make sure that they can continue to provide for future generations of BLM activists to come in and have money in the charity. I'm like, what if you buy the wrong stocks? Like, what if the market's going down right now? How's that $32 million doing?
Well, how is she going to afford her battered scam artist shelter?
It was all GameStop at its highest point.
Yeah. No,
that's exactly right.
She hedged it with AMC.
No. But then it was mostly in Doge. Right?
Yeah.
So they love the they love the dogs.
It's a lot of Bitcoin.
It was a bad idea. But hold on. Here's the silver lining, right? Tuesday, they came out on their website and they launched the Transparency Center.
Oh, wow.
Maybe a little too late on this.
Here, you want me to read the quote?
Yeah, but you read the quote in a good voice. Give me a voice.
Yeah, you mean something that might sound like Black Lives Matter?
Or like Morgan Freeman.
Or Al Sharpton. I don't know. You take your pick.
I'd almost do Morgan Freeman, make him more gentlemanly.
There you go.
I can do the black people, white person voice so I don't get in trouble.
Okay, that's fine.
The misinformation from the right wing about our finances is very much about what happens when black people are financially autonomous from white supremacists. There is a long-standing legacy of mistrust and doubt about how black people spend their money. Don't know why people sound like that, bitch!
So your truth center, right, to make sure that everybody knows that you're being transparent and honest, is basically saying white people are racist and like to tell black people how to spend their money. Okay, let's just take this away. Anybody who pays relatives to do those things for them, security services, and the guy gets almost $1 million, the other person sets up events for you and does creative services and gets nearer $1 million than the other person you were paying, yes, people are going to do that. It's called being a business. You're a charity, which means you have to tell your donors how you spend your money, and they get to say whether they like that or not. Yeah. Sorry. Real world. This
just apply the same kind of outrage you did to Joel Osteen or Haggard and that kind of stuff.
Absolutely. Right. Any church that does this.
Tammy Faye Baker. Just apply the same standard. Look, you're fleecing people. Also, again, it's not that it's hypocritical that this person, I think the house was $3 million. I can't remember. It's from a story before. It's $3 or $4 million.
Yeah.
It's not that it's hypocritical.
The other homes,
it's that you don't believe it.
Yeah.
You don't believe that there's systemic racism and oppression because you use that system to fleece the so-called oppressors.
$6 million house.
$6 million house.
$6 million.
Well, $6
million.
Jeez. 6 in this one. She's got other houses that she bought. That the story came out. I think it was Daily Mail that broke it or something like that. That she had other homes in other places. That doesn't even include this one that we mentioned. That's $6 million here.
Well, I got a $6 million house. I got to have a matching house. I like to stand on them like skis.
I don't think that that's true at all. So of course, the pivot is racism. Of course, they're So here's the funny part too. They're misrepresenting our financials.
You know, they call it white rich.
You mean by posting your financials, we're misrepresenting your financials?
This is an epidemic of what we call nouveau black.
Yes. So
anyway, old money.
Just in case you're thinking of donating to BLM, don't.
Yeah, don't donate to Black Lives Matter. Look, it's a scam. We always knew it was a scam, and what will happen is the media will move on, not acknowledge the scam. The media, right?
Of course.
What happened is they whipped you all up into a frenzy. You rioted. You believed some stories that weren't true, and now the money's been given away, and they're just not going to cover their screw-ups. That's what. It's not the lies that you hear blatantly. It's the stories that they never choose to cover. Mm-hmm. And that's what's going to happen. Well, okay, thank you. You guys can comment below as to how you like, Gerald bringing in these segments because he's a smart dude. This has been Gerald Knows Things.
Guys, I'm gay. Fabulous. I feel like they did that in like 10. Like we do good work here.
Yeah, no, that is good work.
Almost seems intentional.
Good job, even Brendan.
Watch Louder with Crowder live, Monday through Thursday, 10 a.m. Eastern.